We've all heard warnings about climate change, pandemics, and societal collapse. But what if the worst-case scenario isn't just a distant possibility? What if it's already happening right now, and we're living in the early stages of a global crisis? In today's video, we're going to explore the signs that suggest the future we fear may already be upon us. Stay tuned as we uncover the evidence, analyze expert opinions, and ask the big question: has the worst-case scenario for our future already started? Let's begin by talking about the one issue that keeps coming up: climate change. For years, scientists have warned us that a tipping point is approaching, a point of no return that could lead to catastrophic environmental consequences. But have we already crossed that line? Extreme weather events are becoming more frequent, from unprecedented heat waves and massive wildfires to devastating floods and hurricanes. In just the past decade, we've seen entire communities wiped out by natural disasters. And it's not just the Earth getting warmer. Ecosystems are collapsing. Coral reefs, which sustain marine life and protect coastal regions, are dying at an alarming rate due to ocean warming and acidification. Experts say we may already be witnessing the early stages of what's called the sixth mass extinction. Over 1 million species are at risk of extinction in the coming decades, largely due to human activity. Biodiversity loss, combined with unpredictable weather patterns, could destabilize food systems and lead to widespread hunger. If climate change continues unchecked, are we facing an uninhabitable future within our lifetimes? Then, there's the issue of pandemics. COVID-19 shocked the world, but some experts argue that it was merely a preview of what's to come. With the rise of antibiotic resistance, habitat destruction pushing humans into closer contact with wild animals, and globalized travel making disease spread faster than ever before, the risk of future pandemics looms large. Have we entered an era where deadly viruses will be the norm, not the exception? The global response to COVID-19 exposed deep vulnerabilities in our systems. Hospitals overwhelmed, supply chains disrupted, economies crumbling. What would happen if a future pandemic was even more lethal? Or if multiple pandemics struck at the same time? Many experts point out that the worst-case scenario isn't just one disaster, but multiple crises happening at once, a concept known as the polycrisis. Imagine a world where climate disasters, pandemics, economic collapse, and political instability all converge. It may sound like a dystopian future, but some argue that this convergence is already beginning. Global inequality is widening, with the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. Political polarization and the rise of authoritarian regimes have sparked unrest across the globe, from protests to coups. Could the social fabric that holds society together be fraying right before our eyes? The question of whether we've already entered the worst-case scenario also brings us to the topic of technological disruption. Artificial intelligence, automation, and digital surveillance are transforming the way we live, work, and interact with each other. While technology has undoubtedly improved many aspects of life, it also poses significant risks. Jobs are being automated faster than workers can retrain, leading to economic dislocation. AI algorithms, designed to predict and manipulate human behavior, are being used in everything from policing to politics, raising concerns about privacy, bias, and control. But there's an even darker side to technology: cyber warfare. In recent years, cyber attacks have become more sophisticated, targeting critical infrastructure like power grids, financial systems, and government networks. Experts warn that a major cyber attack could paralyze entire countries, plunging millions into darkness, halting transportation, and causing economic chaos. Have we become so dependent on technology that we're vulnerable to a digital apocalypse? The rise of nuclear tensions adds another layer to the fear of global catastrophe. While the threat of nuclear war has been present since the Cold War, it seems more relevant now than ever. The breakdown of nuclear arms treaties, the proliferation of weapons in unstable regions, and the rising tensions between major powers like the US, Russia, and China all point toward a growing risk of nuclear conflict. Are we closer to the brink than we realize? Let's not forget the underlying issue that ties many of these threats together: resource scarcity. As populations grow and the planet warms, essential resources like water, arable land, and energy are becoming scarcer. Water wars are already a reality in some parts of the world, and experts predict that conflicts over food, water, and energy will only increase in the coming years. Could resource wars be the final nail in the coffin for global peace and stability? Perhaps the scariest part of all these worst-case scenarios is that they're not isolated. They feed into each other. Climate change exacerbates resource scarcity, which in turn fuels political instability. Pandemics strain healthcare systems and economies, which can lead to civil unrest. The domino effect could create a self-reinforcing loop that accelerates humanity's descent into chaos. But despite all these grim possibilities, there are those who believe it's not too late. Around the world, activists, scientists, and innovators are working tirelessly to prevent the worst from happening. Green technologies, policy reforms, and global cooperation could, in theory, help us avoid total collapse. But will it be enough? And more importantly, are we acting fast enough? Conclusion. So, has the worst-case scenario for our future already started? The evidence suggests we might already be living through the early stages. The signs are everywhere. Climate disasters, pandemics, political upheaval, and technological disruptions. But whether we continue down this path or manage to change course is still up to us. The future is uncertain, and the choices we make today will determine whether we face a global catastrophe or find a way to avert it. If you found this video thought-provoking, don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth explorations of the challenges and opportunities facing our world. And let us know in the comments, do you think the worst-case scenario has already started?